Hi, this is Michael Orl from MobileBurn.com, and today I bring you the Samsung Epic 4G. This is Sprint's second 4G powered Android smartphone, and it goes on sale at the end of August for $249.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate. So here's the Epic 4G's box. You can see pretty small. Open it up, and right front and center here, looks like we've got the phone. If I can get it out. Okay. There it is. See what else we've got in the box. User manual of some sort in here, I imagine. Getting started guide. Getting started guide in Spanish, and then a full user guide here. Some looks like service information and a little bit of promotional material from Samsung about the Galaxy S line. Decent looking pair of earbuds in here. You can see it comes with replaceable ear gels. It's kind of nice. It's a call and send button there with the microphone. Same kind of compact Samsung charger we've seen from some of the other recent Samsung devices. Works with the included micro USB cable. Just plug the one end into your laptop or desktop computer or this charger here, and then the micro USB end goes directly into the Epic 4G itself. That's about it, except for the micro SD memory card adapter, and there's a 16 gig micro SD card pre-installed in the device. So here's the phone, and it's a big one. It weighs about 160 grams, and it's a full 15 millimeters thick. If we pull off some of the protective coatings here and you take a look at it, you can see on the left-hand edge here we've got a volume control. The back of the device has a soft touch paint on it, and it's a little bit of, not sparkly, but it's got a little silver flecks or something in it. It gives it a little bit more interesting look than it would if it were just plain matte black. See the 5 megapixel autofocus camera there and the power LED flash. On the right hand edge we have the power standby button, and there's a dual stage camera shutter button. Up top is where you'll find the sliding cover for the micro USB port, and there's also the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Down at the bottom, just the hole for the microphone, and you'll also notice at the bottom of the rear cover is where the speaker grill is. If we slide open the phone, you get access to the very spacious 5-row QWERTY keyboard. You can see individual keys spaced in between them all, nicely colored function buttons, menu buttons, back buttons. Everything here is very well designed, laid out properly. The order of everything seems to be spot on. You've got a dedicated row of number keys as well. Plastic keys, they're hard, not slippery but hard, and they have a decent tactile click when you press on them. It really has a nice feel overall. The other major feature of this device, of course, is the large 4-inch diagonal 480 by 800 pixel Super AMOLED display. It's really quite brilliant, quite large, and it's the same one we've seen on devices like the AT&T Captivate and the T-Mobile Vibrant. Notice how quickly it boots up. It's got a 1 gigahertz Cortex-A8 processor in it, a Samsung Hummingbird processor. And take a look at that display. It's really, really colorful. It's just a very nice looking device overall. So let's take a look at the home screen interface. You can see that there are 7 panels. Little markers up here show that. Unlike on the Samsung Captivate for AT&T and the Vibrant for T-Mobile, though, there doesn't appear to be any obvious way to edit the home screen configuration, moving panels around or anything like that, which is a shame because I really like that on those devices. Bunch of Samsung widgets included, and of course the standard Android widgets. The touch-sensitive buttons down here at the bottom seem to work pretty well. I have no real complaints. I always prefer hardware buttons, but these seem to work decently as far as touch-sensitive buttons go. The home screen also works in landscape orientation, which is quite nice. Go to the main menu. Works with multiple panels. Limited options though, again, compared to some of the other devices. You have the option for a list view and for an alphabetic grid view. There's no ability to set up a custom configuration where you decide which apps go in which order and add pages and remove pages. Again, something that we've seen on devices like the Vibrant and something I personally make use of all the time. Also means you don't have the ability to change the contacts and the messaging buttons down here like you can on some other TouchWiz 3 devices. In general though, it's still nice and organized. Everything's alphabetically done, and swiping back and forth from one page to the next is quite intuitive. One of the things that I really like about TouchWiz 3 on the Samsung Epic 4G is that when you long press the home button, not only do you get a list of recently launched applications that you can quickly switch to, there's also a task manager, so you can actually go through and kill off specific applications if you don't need them to run, or do an end all and kill everything. I'm going to jump into the contacts here. You can see there's the full list of contacts, and these are all pulled in from Gmail. You can use your finger on the right hand edge to quickly jump to one particular letter. If we go into groups, you can see again that everything is just coming from Gmail right now. We've got the Google account showing at 21, nothing on the phone, nothing on Facebook and Twitter. If we go back here though and select Get Friends, we'll be able to pull in some contacts from our social networks. And then we'll save just these. So you don't have to, if you have 3,000 Facebook friends, you don't have to pull in 3,000 contacts. But you can see that Russell Jeffries is now here because I pulled him in from Facebook. You can see that it says there's 4 coming from Facebook. And you can do the same thing with Twitter as well. Say we'll pull in Bonnie and Brad. And John as well. And then we'll just save that. And now you'll see John shows up right here in the contact list. Now, of course, sometimes you're going to have duplicates because, say, another man right here, he was in Facebook and he also was in our Gmail contacts. So if you go into the contact, you can see that there are linked contacts right there, and you can always add links to new contacts or remove them. And here's just the main screen. It shows uploads onto Facebook and things like that, and if there were any recent updates through the social networks, which there haven't been so far. And now that we have some social networking feeds added into the system, you can see that the Feeds and Updates widget on the home screen will now show Facebook and Twitter updates. And we can also use Samsung's Buddies widget to provide quick access to some of our favorite contacts. And you can see everything's in a nicely scrollable system. And for example, you can see a recent tweet from Bonnie. Now, we showed you before that contacts can come in from Gmail. Of course, I just want to show you how the actual Gmail account works. See, full HTML support and everything, and still the conversation view that you've seen before in, say the desktop web Gmail client. You can see some of the threading right here in this example. The Gmail client isn't the only way to get to Gmail, though. You can actually set up Gmail accounts in the normal email system. It won't pull in contacts that way, but it's still usable. And of course, you can easily go back and forth between multiple accounts, too. Quite fond of the email system that comes on the Samsung devices lately. You can see it has nice scrollable tabs up at the top so you can quickly move from one folder to the next. Let's just put in a quick reply here, so we'll pull open the keyboard. I like the keyboard in general, but there's a couple of things that strike me as odd. For example, a dedicated button for smileys seems to be a huge waste. Something like the @ symbol would have been much more useful, but overall I think it works pretty well. And of course you can use the arrow keys to navigate around, and you can also use that to select text, and if you can hit it accurately enough, you can copy that text and then repaste it again, and we'll just send off the message. Now you also have some options for text input without the keyboard. By default, it comes up in swipe. And this is swipe. I'm very fond of this system. If you've seen any of my other reviews, you know I really like to swipe and I use it quite often. If you long press, you can see the other input methods. There's just a stock Android keyboard you can use instead. And you probably noticed the notification that came in up there showing the Gmail indicator. So we'll pull down the notification curtain just so you can see what's going on. So there's the full notification showing that we've got new messages. You also have quick access to buttons for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, turning on and off 4G, and the GPS. In spite of the fact that we're in a 4G coverage area right at the moment, we're not getting any 4G signal whatsoever, so I've hooked it up to Wi-Fi. But again, like anything with the notification area, you just tap on the notice and it takes you to the appropriate application.